All right, for our next worksheet, we are going to do letters in 2-point perspective. So they've given you the corners of each letters because if you remember from our boxes in perspective, we start by drawing the corners. So they've given you the corners, but obviously it's hard to tell what letter they are, so they've written it above. So we have the H, an S, an E, an N, and a J. And I'm going to show you guys what these look like. And here is the T, and this was the corner that they started out with right there. So that is their example. For my S's, I always do block S's. Don't think that you have to do some curvy S. I mean, they give you straight lines, okay? So let's start with a simple shape. Let's start with the H, okay? So the first thing I always do when I'm drawing my letters and things like this is I start off just like I did with the boxes. I'm going to connect the top and the bottom to both vanishing points, okay? Now I'm drawing this one a little bit lighter just because I am going to have to do some erasing, but you should still be able to see it. Okay, so I did both the tops and the bottom to both vanishing points. Now this is where I need to start getting my shape of my H, okay? So I'm going to draw a vertical line right out there. That's going to be the other side of my H. So one side, two side, okay? So technically I could erase these lines if I wanted to get them out of my way. Okay, so obviously this is what an H looks like. So I'm going to, there's my side. Now, how you get that inside part, that middle bar that goes across, you're going to connect these to your vanishing point. Okay? Now, obviously, I got to get the side on the right. So I'm going to get my vertical lines here. Okay? Erase that inside part. And there we have an H. And obviously you want to erase this inside and top line. So the letters do take kind of some construction to do. So there's the front of our H. That's step one. We have our side here. So I'm going to do my vertical lines, make my side. Okay. I'm going to darken this line up for you and this line up for you so you can see it. Okay. Now you have to get the inside part to the H too. So we're going to connect from this corner to the left vanishing point, from this corner to the left vanishing point. Now you'll notice because the H is floating, we see the bottom. So we actually have to connect all of these corners to the vanishing point on the left, including this inside corner. Remember, stop before you actually start running through letters. Then what you'll do, you'll go from this corner here that you made, all right, the side. Remember, we crossed to get the tops and the bottoms, so I'm just going to go there and right there. Okay, there's still one line missing. We need this vertical line that goes up. So I'm going to go from this corner up. Okay? So you'll see it is a little bit of construction to make these letters, but it's one step at a time. I always start with a box or a rectangle shape and then build inside of that. So I'll show you for the E. Start off the same way, tops and bottoms connected to both vanishing points. So tops and bottoms. I'm going to create the side of my E by drawing a vertical line going straight down. I'm going to create the front of my E by drawing a vertical line straight down. Okay. Now to create the actual E, I'm going to pretty much decide where I want the top, the middle, and the bottom. So I made these little marks. Because what you have to do, you have to line it up with the vanishing point on the left, but draw inward. And if you find other ways to construct this that works for you, that's fine. But this is the way that I usually do it. So now I have all my lines that are connected to the right vanishing point. So I need to create, see, it's already starting to look like an E. These inside lines. So right there. And then I'll erase these extra. Okay, so now we need to do the top and the inside parts. So for the top, you cross. So this right corner to the left. Go from this corner here, cross it. I'm going to darken that line up so you can see it. And there's the top of our E. We don't have to do anything else to the top of our E. I'll darken this line up so you can see it. So now we just have to complete the inside part of the E, okay? This should be pretty easy. You should just connect this corner to the vanishing point, stop when you hit the letter. This corner to the vanishing point, stop when you hit the letter. And there you go. You have an E in 2-point perspective block letter. Now for N, some people do sharp corners. I like to do more like block letter ends, and sometimes if you're not measuring, your letters aren't perfect, and that's totally fine. I'm not gonna make you guys measure. So I'm gonna start the same exact way. I always create this box shape. It really helps. So connecting the top and the bottom to both vanishing points. Okay. This is going to be the front of my N, and you can do the fronts either side, whatever works best for you. I'm right-handed, so for whatever reason, I like my fronts of my letters on the right side. It just makes more sense to me. So this is going to be the side of my N, and this is going to be the front of my N. So I want to make this bigger. Okay. So that's the side. We don't need to do anything else to the side, but I need to plan out my letter, how I want it to look. So I'm going to make a little mark here because I'm going to go down. Okay. Then obviously there's going to be, I'm going to put a mark right there because it's going to come at a diagonal. So I'm going to lightly sketch out this line. Okay, so it's going to go up, and then from about this point, it's going to go down. So you really just have to plan everything out. And if you make a mistake, that's why you have an eraser. Okay. So I need to connect this and this, and then connect this. All right. Now I'm going to erase the inside. We don't need this part. Just darkening these up for you guys. We don't need this part here. Okay. Is it a perfect N? No, because I'm not measuring and I'm not like calculating everything. I'm just kind of drawing it. I don't expect yours to be perfectly measured, equal distance on every side. This is practice, okay? So now you're going to have to draw the insides and the top. So I'm going to come down here to this corner. Remember, for bottoms and tops, we connect opposite. So draw like that. The bottom is done. I'm going to go from this outside edge because remember we have to cross. So connect it there. Cross over here. And then you have to take these 2 points and connect them to the vanishing point on the left because they're corners as well. So you have to cross them as well. And then just erase the part in the center. And there's your N. I know this little thing gets in the way, so if you want to do your N on the other side, that's totally fine. I just kind of pretend it doesn't exist. All right. For the J can be weird as well, so I make my J always blocky. like that, like a block. So same exact process that I always do, except for this one, I'm going to put the front of the letter on the left because there's just not a lot of room on the right. So same process, top and bottom, connect it to the left vanishing point, top and bottom connect it to the right vanishing point. Now this is going to be the side, not the front, so I'm going to make that line a little short like that. And this is going to change because J's are a little bit like that T. They're a little weird. And I'm going to draw that line there. Okay. So plan out your J. So if I want my J this way, it's going to, you can even lightly sketch it and then clean your lines up. There is nothing wrong with that. Oops. See, I already sketched too far because my top needs to come out. So if that's the top, there we go. Going down. It's going to be a really skinny J because I didn't make it super fat. Okay. So obviously this sketch is not in perspective. That's why it's very ugly. So now we're going to get it in perspective. All right. So I need the bottom part there. Now I'm going to use my ruler. Draw straight down. Nice straight vertical lines. Connect here to the vanishing point on the left. Okay. Actually, I need to go all the way down. See, I'm even confusing myself. There we go. Now that makes sense. Vanishing point on the left for the inside part. Vertical line here. Vanishing point on the left for the top. And then that goes down. Okay, so now we're going to erase this inside part here. I'm going to darken my lines up so you can see them. Okay, so this is erased too. And they do give you a whole line here. So you could either do a J like this, or you can technically do a J like that. Either way is totally fine. If you do a J like this, it's probably going to be easier and you'll have the whole line. If you do something like this, I will still accept it. Okay, and then you would connect to the vanishing point. A J like this will fit this shape, this line, a little bit better. So it's a little confusing because they don't show you exactly which one you want. So I'm not super picky as long as it is a J. So if you want to do like a full capital J like this, I'm fine with that. Or if you want to do a J like this, that's pretty easy to do. And I can show you what that looks like too. I am not against you guys doing something that's a little bit easier. If it makes more sense to you, as long as it is done correctly. So here's the vertical line that goes down. See, this one's already so much faster, and that's why I'm fine with it. But it is a J, so let's make sure we have a vertical line that goes up. So it's the same process. I'm using that same box. It's just a simpler shape. So see? And it's not perfect. It's not perfectly proportioned because I'm not measuring. And then you would just do the same thing. Connect to that vanishing point. Cross over to get your top. Remember, you always cross for the top. Do not forget to connect these guys. That'll go there. These will all connect to the vanishing point on the right. And then you will have to pick where your J kind of ends. And go that way and go vertical. And then everything always connects to a vanishing point. In 2-point perspective, you have two kinds of lines. You have vertical lines. Okay, that's a V, vertical. And then you have your diagonal lines, or orthogonal. Okay, so that's it. You don't have horizontal lines. The only horizontal line you have is right here, your horizon line. This is not a horizontal line. It's a diagonal line. It's at an angle. So you have your vertical lines and your corners. Everything else goes to the vanishing point. So I have my vertical lines as the corners. Everything else goes to the vanishing point. All right, so if you remember that, that's really going to help you out. So whichever J you want to draw, I don't care. It's up to you. If you don't use this whole line, I'm fine with it, okay? As long as it is a three-dimensional, two-point perspective J. All right, so now the S. The S seems to always be one of the trickier ones for people, which is why I saved it for last. I'm going to start off the same exact way, connecting the tops and bottoms of all these lines, there's two of them, to your vanishing point. So I want to do it on the left and the right. Okay. So if I want my S to look like this, then basically this is my side. So I'm going to draw my vertical lines right there. Okay. I'm going to drag this out. This is the front, so I'm going to get the front kind of going. Okay. Actually, I'm going to draw this all the way down. So we need to go around like this. So this actually needs to be connected here, and I need to erase that. It has a lot to do with planning. All right, see, you're already getting a little bit more of the shape. We need to have this inside part. Okay, connecting it to the top and the bottom of the vanishing point. I'm going to stop as soon as I hit that line because I don't need to go any further. Darken this line up here. Erase this one back here. There you go. So now just get the bottom and the insides connecting to the vanishing point on the left, because remember they cross over. That part's done. This corner to the left. And I'll show you what we'll do with that in a second. This corner to the left. Cross over, because we're seeing the bottom of the shape, so you have to cross over. Okay, same thing here, cross over. And then you just go straight down. And there's your S. So this is completed. Remember, you only have vertical lines and diagonal lines, that's it. Vertical lines and lines that go to your vanishing point, which are called orthogonal lines. See, orthogonal.